Hello, good morning, and welcome to Yoga by Beka. I am Beka. I am an older woman that loves to do yoga in her living room, and if you'd like to do some along with me so that we can learn and grow on our yoga journey together, I hope you'll roll out your mat, get into something comfy, and start out in a cross-legged seated position. After you hit the like, subscribe, and after you share this with a friend, of course. So let's start out in a seated position. Palms face up on our knees. Coming into yourself, breathing deeply. Then slowly lower yourself onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. And then extend your legs straight up into the air. Rub the back of your legs or pat them to wake them up a little bit. Then grab the outside of your feet with your hands, pulling them into your armpits into happy baby. Slowly rock gently from side to side, massaging your lower back. And just breathing deeply in and out. Letting the mat support your weight. Being relaxed. Empty your mind of any thoughts. Slowly straighten your legs out, holding on to the toes. Or if it's easier for you, just to stay in happy baby. Whatever feels comfortable for your body. Close your eyes. And hugging your knees into your armpits. Just breathe in deeply and exhale fully. We're going to set our intention today to fully love and be grateful for our bodies, to love ourselves. Squeeze the knees into the chest, hugging them with your hands. Extend them straight into the sky again, grabbing your toes, and pulling your legs a little bit more deeply, your feet deeply towards your face. Release your arms, and then slowly point your toes and bring them down to the mat. Extend your legs out and pull them up to the sky and lower them down to the ground. Breathe in up to the sky, exhale, lower down to the ground. Inhale up to the sky, exhale, lower down. Using your lower abdominal muscles. Now roll yourself up into a seated position. Lean back, extend the legs, and get into reverse plank position, shoving your hips as far up to the ceiling as possible. Set your butt back down, and then reach forward, grab your feet in a forward fold. Release, lean back, reverse plank position. Exhale, lower the hips down, lean forward, grab your feet forward, sitting fold. Stay in the forward fold position, just breathing deeply in and out. How does your body feel right now? When you inhale, fill your belly full of air. When you exhale, pull your navel into your spine and see if you can lean forward a little more deeply, laying your chest on the tops of your legs. Breathe in, exhale, and smile. Breathe in, you are a flower. Exhale, you feel fresh. Inhale, pure positive energy. Exhale, you feel fresh. Relax the top of your head, your eyes. Unclench your jaw. Let your legs support the weight of your head. Breathe in full, deep, relaxing. Exhale. Your whole life is a spa. Think about your body, bringing attention to your heart. Completely focus on your heart and your chest, beating and keeping you alive, feeling grateful and thankful. If you have any areas of discomfort, where are they? See if you can breathe into the discomfort, extra love and oxygen, and exhale, holding the asana. Slowly release the pose. Roll your head around first one direction, then another. Walk your chest up till you're seated upright. Maybe wiggle your toes a little bit. Lean back, placing your hands behind you. Pull yourself up into a reverse plank. Then lower your butt down. Cross your feet. Sit in a crisscross position, but then go forward. Get on all fours and lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. You can take your dog for a walk, bending first one knee and then another, coming up on your toes on one side, then another. Get into a good, comfortable position in your downward facing dog. And then lean forward, touching your knees to the mat, and then back to downward facing dog. Then lean forward, high plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high overhead, stacking the hips. Bend the knee on your right leg. And open up your hip by taking that knee and making as big a circles as you can. It doesn't matter how it looks, just how it feels. Exploring the space, seeing how big a circles you can make with your knee. Now extend your leg again and straighten it. Pull the leg through and off to the left side, extending your arm up and over into Wild Thing. Breathe deeply in and out. Release, leg back up in the air into upward facing dog. Then pull that knee into your armpit. And then lay your right ankle by your left wrist on the ground into pigeon pose. Straighten the leg, extending it out and lifting the butt up, and then laying the knee back down. Breathe in, butt up, legs straight. Breathe out, bend the knee back down, lay it down on the mat. Breathe in, straighten that front leg. Breathe out, rest it back down. This will get a great stretch in your IT band. Breathe in, look up, exhale, lower your head down over your knee. Now thread the needle in a way, or maybe a better way to describe this variation of pigeon pose is take your left shoulder and lay it down by your right knee. Put your hands in prayer position off to the side. Open up your chest to the right side with your hands stacked on top of each other, elbows flared, to get an even deeper stretch deep in your buttocks. Release if it's too intense for you, and lay your chest back down over the top of that right foot. Extend the arms out, clasping the hands, intertwining the fingers, but with your pointer fingers out. And bend the elbows to put it behind your neck to stretch out the very backs of your arms. Then release, and then just lay your head down, holding the pigeon pose, breathing deeply in and out. Slowly push yourself up. Take a moment to just breathe deeply in and out. Lower yourself back down to intensify this deep stretch deep in your buttocks. Place your left hand through over to your right side. Then take your right hand and twist it behind your back to grab your own waist or your own foot that's sticking out there into a bind. Not only will this get a deep stretch deep into your buttocks that will help support your back health, This is also going to be a nice stretch for your shoulders to release any tension that you may be holding in your shoulders. Release and come back into a seated position with your eyes closed, and breathe in deep cleansing breaths in and exhale fully deep cleansing breaths out. Let's use this yoga practice today to get into asanas and stay there, to really allow some deep releases. If you need to take a break and drink a little water, do whatever feels good for you. Come back into a seated position. Hands placed on top of your kneecaps with the palms upward. Breathing deeply in and out. Resetting the brain. Take notice of any places that might feel tight. Or maybe take notice of places that feel extra flexible. Nod your head up and down, releasing tension held in the neck. Now let's stack some wood. That's what I call this. I stack one knee on top of the other, both feet flexed. Lean your torso over, looking over the knees. Your hands are out at your sides, your fingers are tented. Look over your legs like you're looking over the edge of a cliff to look down into the pond that you might have dropped something in. This will feel deeply releasing in your hips. While tensing your fingers and flexing and stretching through the arms, will feel deeply releasing of any tensions that you might be holding along those arm and shoulder muscles. Breathe deeply in and deeply out. Breathing in pure energy. Exhaling residual goodness. If you find your mind wandering, you can bring it back to a mantra, or just breathe in and out of your nose, imagining the waves crashing on the ocean with each breath. Breathe in, the tide goes out and the waves build. Exhale, the waves crash to the shore. Inhale, water gets drawn back into the sea. Exhale, the waves roll in and crash to the beach. Now pull yourself up and uncross those legs. And then let's get back into a meditation pose. Give yourself time to reacclimate to being upright instead of leaned over. Breathing deeply in and out. When you're ready, let's stack the wood on the other side, crossing the other leg over top of the other, one knee directly on top of the other, feet flexed. Lean over your knees like you're trying to peer into something, like a wishing well that you dropped a penny into. Extend the arms out to your sides, tenting your fingers, pushing the earth away. Breathing deeply in and deeply out. Staying relaxed, even when your body is in a pose that is not particularly relaxing. When ready, release. Extend your legs out. Stand tall or sit tall. Cross your right leg over your left and look over your right shoulder behind you. Now come into all fours tabletop and then lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Uncurl into plank, chaturanga, lower down, lift up, upward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply in and out. Lift the right leg, the left leg. This time let's do the left side. Lift that left leg up high in the sky, pointing the toe. And now let's make as big a circles with our left knee as possible. Doesn't matter how it looks, matters how it feels. Maybe you can pretend that there is a Sharpie on your kneecap and you're making big circles. Now extend the leg out and then flip it through to the right side into Wild Thing. Pushing your hips up. Now come back to plank position. Step your left knee, lay it down by your wrist. Lay down into pigeon position, but then extend, lifting the hips up, straightening that left leg. Breathe out, breathe out and put the knee down. Breathe in, lift and extend, straightening that front leg, stretching that IT band. Now exhale, lower the knee down into pigeon pose. Smile because you know that this is challenging but so invigorating and cleansing. Now that you're in pigeon pose, lean forward and rest yourself down. Thread your right arm through to your left side. Extend. Then put your hands in prayer position facing the left side. This causes an angle that creates a very deep stretch, deep within the buttocks. If you want, you can take your left arm and put it behind you in a bind, grabbing your waist while your right arm is extended through across the chin over to the left side. Breathe deep and exhale long. Breathe in, you love yourself. Exhale, you are a fresh flower. One of the many blessings of the internet in the age of digital comings and goings and services is that we can now do yoga, take classes, get educated, educate others, and create communities online. Doing yoga in your home is a wonderful way to carve out special time just for you and to invest in your peace and happiness. Also, the older we get, I think the more comfortable we are when we're at home and we know we're not out in public. There's less germs, less noise. I had to hide my baby pooch from having babies. One thing that's wonderful about doing yoga with me in your living room is that there's no judgment here. It's a judgment-free zone where all bodies are beautiful, all skill levels are accepted, and only kindness and acceptance lives in my home. When ready, transition yourself into child's pose. The most restorative variation of child's pose is when your knees are together and your hands are back by your feet. You can completely collapse your shoulders and spine and have your chin tucked a little bit to make sure that your neck stays long. But you can completely release your body and just let gravity take care of it. Empty your mind, breathing in and out. Every single time you take some time for yourself on the mat to practice yoga and to quiet the mind and to yoke the mind and body together, bringing awareness into this very moment, you are creating new neural pathways in your brain. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You can restore your health, and your thoughts can make you well. As you go on throughout the rest of your day, take some deep insights and inventory and create some self-awareness about where you might have some limiting beliefs and how you can reprogram and retrain yourself to think in new ways and to move in new ways. When ready, come back to a seated position and maybe end the practice with a little bit of Sufi grinds, going around in circles with your sits bones. Maybe move your head a little bit, neck rolls one way, then the other. Thank you so much for watching my amateur yoga videos. Remember that we're just going for progress, not perfection. And you can always teach an old dog new tricks. Have a beautiful day. And if nobody tells you today, I hope I'm the first one to tell you that I love and appreciate you. Bye.